I almost dropped it. How terrible would that be if I broke everything trying to get a thumbnail? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna go through, I think legitimately, the biggest haul I have ever done in my life on this channel, ever. So I've been saving up my ULTA points, my ULTA rewards points for like, I want to say it's at least been a year. It might be a little bit more than a year. But I've been trying to purchase more from ULTA lately just because, frankly, they have the better rewards program. They get actual cash back. It's better cash back than Sephora. So right now, ULTA is like my best option when it comes to like accessibility, the availability of different types of products, and the rewards program. The only thing that's not good about ULTA is their shipping, but we'll get into that. I did a poll a little while ago asking you guys on my community tab what kind of video you would want to see here. Would you want to see a traditional haul where I just show you everything that I picked up, or more like a shop with me, try to get ready with me, and by like a tiny itty bitty little margin. I left the poll up for a little bit longer to let it just go, but the traditional haul won at like 37%, and then the next one was the shop with me and try to get ready with me try on haul. So for this video, we're just going to do a traditional haul. I already went through, I used all of my points, so I'll tell you about how I was able to use that many points, how I had to break up my orders, and then we're literally going to go through and talk about all the products I picked up. Before we jump in, this is going to be a long video, so make sure you get a snack or a drink. I've got my Diet Coke here. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications whenever I do come out with a new video every single week. Okay, let's first talk about the process of how to actually spend $400 in ULTA points. I believe if you go in store and you have like a verifiable photo ID, you can use as many ULTA points as you want in a single transaction. This is how people can go in and redeem tons of points for like a Dyson hair product. When you place an online order, however, there is a limit. So I believe the upper limit is $250 worth of points per transaction. So for this, I did have to split my order into two. So I had to place two separate orders, and I did the first one up to $250 worth of points redeemed, and then I did the rest on the second transaction. Now, both of those orders were so large, they split them into 5 packages total. So I got like 3 boxes this large and 2 bubble mailers, and they all came in separately. So I kind of opened everything up. I didn't open the products up, but I went through and I opened the packages and I consolidated them into these 2 boxes to make this a little bit easier. So between those 2 transactions, I was able to get a ton of products. And what I did for myself is I really wanted to focus on drugstore products. There's been a lot of brand new drugstore releases lately, and I have not personally been purchasing that many drugstore products because I've been going out less to like CVS and Walgreens, is where I would typically buy my drugstore products. And I have to say, my local Target where I shop the most, their like beauty section is always out of, it's not really well stocked. It's always out of stock of everything. So even when I do want to pick up something, I end up not being able to because nothing's there. So I end up ordering online, and even then, the only places I've been buying drugstore online is like directly from the brand's website, so like e.l.f.com. So here for this haul, I wanted to spend all $400 on drugstore products. So I did all of that with the exception of like one product that I did kind of sort of splurge on. And that's because it was on sale, because I placed these orders during the fall haul, which is like the biggest ULTA sale of the year. I did not plan that. It was a very happy accident. So I ended up getting a ton of products. The stars aligned and everything just worked out perfectly. Okay, so we did the 2 transactions. We got the shipping. So they shipped everything in 5 packages. Thankfully, only one product actually broke. And I have a really bad track record with ULTA shipping. They tend to just throw everything in a box and hope for the best. But that being said, their customer service is pretty decent. Usually they will reship you an item if they have it in stock, and if not, they'll give you a refund if it is broken. The only annoyance is that it's an annoyance, and if it's like a liquid product and it gets all over everything else in your box, it can be a real pain in the butt. But for me, out of all of these packages, the only product that broke was actually this Flower Beauty foundation. This is the Light Illusion foundation, and thankfully, it's no longer sharp because Alvin sanded this down for me, but I will throw pictures up of what happened. I don't know how, but this must have just like been thrown or landed some way that like chipped the glass and left the bottom like super duper sharp, and like I cut myself when I first opened the package. So the new bottle is currently on the way, which is very nice of them to do so, because thankfully it didn't actually hit the product. So the product is unaffected, but the packaging was kind of jacked up. And honestly, if I didn't have Alvin, I probably would have just had to like either tape it up or throw it away because it was a safety hazard. I did cut myself on it. But Alvin was able to sand it down, and so now I can like touch it and it doesn't hurt me. So thankfully that was like the only like damaged product in the whole haul, and I was able to get it fixed. Now with all of that preamble out of the way, let's get into the haul. So let's start with the one like non-makeup product that I got because I couldn't resist because it was on sale. It's this lotion from Hemp's. It's the Exotic Green Tea in Asian Pear. This is just like my literal favorite lotion scent. Right up there with Lush's Karma Cream. They smell nothing alike, but those are my two favorite scents, are this one and Karma Cream. This is just such a light, airy, wonderful scent. I love this, but these hemp lotions are really expensive. They're like between 20 and 30 bucks. So when they were on sale, and I think I got this for like 10 or 15, I forgot the exact however much I paid for it, but it was on sale, and this was a total just like, oh, add to cart because I really wanted it. All right, next let's talk about the two non-makeup products that I picked up. So first I got this, let's see if I can show it without the ring light, this brush set from Real Techniques, and this is the New Nudes. This is the New Nudes Nothing But You face set, and I have to say, I love Real Techniques brushes. They're like my favorite brushes, especially for blush. And the only thing I don't like about them, this is super first world problem, like completely. They're bright pink. Like the rest of my brushes, they're like black or they're nudes or they're anything else. But the Real Technique brushes, they almost sort of kind of look like the brushes that come with kids makeup. They're just like super bright pastel colors. I'm not a huge fan. So when I saw that they had those brushes, but they're like in neutral colors, yeah, I kind of wanted to grab them. So this set comes with 4 brushes and they look beautiful. I love that they're like nudie and then like they're see-through. I absolutely adore these. And I'm thinking of this one could be like a nice foundation brush. I have this exact brush actually, but in like the nude color. Let me grab it. It's dirty. So I have that same, it's like the concealer brush, I believe. But they're very similar, and I do use this all the time, so I'll definitely get a lot of use out of that one. This one is like a little duo fibery brush. I wonder if that'd be nice for like under eye concealer. That could be nice. And then this one is what I kind of wanted to try using for either contour or blush. I think it'd be nice. I personally would love it if they came out with all their brushes in this style. I would literally buy all of them. The set also came with this little acrylic palette that you can mix foundation on, and actually I legitimately already have one. I bought this one on Amazon. It's actually a little bit smaller than the Real Technique one, so I might swap out and use the Real Technique one instead. But I've been using this for liquid blush, was mainly the main reason I got it, because I liked putting the blush on here and then I could coat my entire brush in it and then apply it to my face, as opposed to like dabbing the blush on and then blending it out. I noticed that it was getting a little sticky in areas, so that's why I got this off of Amazon, but this one's actually a really nice one, so I'll get some use out of it as well. Next, from also Real Techniques, they came out with a double-ended brow brush. I like that it's like a millennial pink kind of color, and I have to say it's not as like narrow or sharp as I would like out of a brow brush, but I only picked this up for dyeing my brows. I wanted to have kind of a dedicated like spoolie product like this for whenever I do dye my hair, because I dye my brows the same time as I dye my hair, and I'm actually about to dye my hair again next weekend. If you want to see that whole process and how I do that, I did a couple of videos on my vlog channel. So if you want to check that out, I will have that video and that channel linked up in the cards. But I just wanted a dedicated brush because when I was coming in here and grabbing like my makeup brushes to do it, I noticed that it kind of gunked up the brush and I had to like thoroughly clean it afterwards. And to be frank, for a couple of bucks, I'd rather just have a dedicated, this is my spoolie and brow brush for dyeing my hair kind of brush that I can keep in the bathroom. Next, I have this adorable little mini, and I don't think I've ever actually tried this primer from e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer, and this is like the mini because it was a free gift with purchase because I bought X amount of dollars of e.l.f. products. Also, since I placed this big haul order online, I was able to copy and paste all the products that I got from my receipts into the description box down below. So if you're interested in anything, I'm not going to have it linked because I don't do this full time and I'm not going to do it, but I'll have all the products listed down below. You know, it's only just now that like I'm taking everything out of the boxes and sorting them here to start talking about them that I realized I went a little ham on the foundations. I think I bought like 8 drugstore foundations. You know, to be a little bit proud of myself, I only bought 1 eyeshadow palette because normally I'm an eyeshadow palette girly and I would go ham for those, but this time I went ham on the foundations and concealers. But to be fair, there's been a lot of like drugstore foundations that I either have never tested or I tested years and years ago and I really want to retry. So That's my disclaimer. I am so proud of myself for actually like organizing all these products by type, because typically I would just grab stuff out of the box and do a haul that way, but because I love you guys so much, I went through that extra step. All right, let's go vaguely in the order that I would apply these to my face. Let's start with primers. So the first thing that I got is a repurchase. I think I've gone through at least 3 of these. I love the putty primers from e.l.f, but specifically the acne fighting putty primer has been a lifesaver recently. I've had some bad breakouts over here, but honestly, the rest of my skin is finally calming down. If you're new to my channel, I caught COVID back in January after a disastrous attempt to go to a family wedding in Mexico. I'll throw that story time up in the cards if you're interested. But ever since then, my skin has been insane. Like, I've been breaking out in places I've never really broken out before. Products that have been, you know, like holy grails for years stopped working for me for some reason, and it was all after I got COVID. This is one of the best primers for just like being a good primer under makeup, for like the longevity, for how the makeup sits on top of it, but then also it really like legitimately helps my breakouts. So if I ever do have a breakout down here or anywhere else, and I want to make sure that I do my best to get rid of it as fast as possible, underneath makeup I will wear this. And I literally just finished up my previous one. I just added it to my empties basket like this morning, so I'm really happy to have a replacement. Next, the box is a little messed up, so I'll just go ahead and open it. I picked up this oil from Milani. This is the Green Goddess Cannabis Oil. Now, I've never tried this one before, but I did try their rose oil, and it was one of like the best primers that's ever worked for my skin. And typically I try to stay away from repurchasing products that take me a long time to finish, and that oil took me months to finish, which is great if you're like on a budget and you want a really good primer. But I didn't want to repurchase it because there's so many other new products I want to try, right? But this one, I've never tried it before. And because I had such a good experience with that rose one, I'm really hoping this one works great for me too. And I gotta say, I love the packaging. This is like glass and like this lid and a little dropper. It's such a fancy dropper. I am thrilled. Can't wait to try this. I'm trying to be good and like open stuff and put it away as I go, because otherwise I'll have a mess. Next, e.l.f. finally came out with more shades of their Halo Glow Liquid Filter. Now, this is shade 0.5, I want to say. What shade are you? It just says fair. I know you have a number. I will throw the number up here. But they extended the shade range, I believe, on both ends to make more deep shades and more lighter shades. The shade I originally had was slightly too dark for me, but because I used it more as a primer, I would typically only use it under foundations that I knew were more full coverage, so you couldn't tell. And that's because I have another primer, which it's in this tubey thing, but this is the Garnier BB cream. I use it as a primer even though it is too dark for me, because it's really good SPF and it works really great as a primer, but because it's too dark, I only use it under full coverage foundations. And that's kind of the same way I was treating this e.l.f. product. Now you can see this is the one I had previously and this is the shade I have now. It matches me a lot better now. So let me actually swatch these for you side by side, because this is shade 1, and now that we have a lighter one to compare it to, I think it'd be helpful to see them side by side. Oh yeah, there's such a huge difference. Wow. I might be able to wear this actually like under not super full coverage foundations. So over here I have shade 1, and then over here I have shade 0.5. That is a leap, but I am grateful to have it now, because this I can actually like wear on its own or wear under like light to medium coverage foundations. And then this is those same shades, just blended out on my hand. It does look a little bit better when it's fully blended out, but you can tell that that side is just a little bit darker and more orangey. So now that I have this new shade, I probably don't need to keep this one, so I might just hold on to it until my next declutter video. But I have a cousin that I think is closer to this shade who could get a lot of use out of this. All right, and the last product for this section, I only had one setting spray, so I didn't want to do a whole section for setting spray, so we're doing it here. I picked up the e.l.f. Stay All Night Micro Fine Setting Mist. And this, I don't know, it has like a ball in here. I'm guessing it's to help with the sprayer. But I haven't tried an e.l.f. setting spray in a long time because I had a fail. I had a really bad fail with one of them. But it's been a while and I've never heard of this one, so I kind of wanted to give it a shot. All right, we did primers. Let's talk foundations. Now, can I just say, even though most of these were on sale, the prices of drugstore foundations have gotten ridiculous lately. Like this one in particular, I wanted to try out this L'Oreal True Match Nude, and I got shade very light. So like 0.5 to 2 is the shade number. And also, I'm not going to go through and say every single shade number, but they are all in the description box. I typed up that long list. Check it out if you're interested, because there's going to be a lot. But this was $19.99. I think this was the only thing not on sale. It was $19.99 for a drugstore foundation. What in the hell is L'Oreal smoking? And where can I get some? So I don't know if I would ever recommend you pick up a $20 drugstore foundation, because at that point, just go to Sephora and spend a couple dollars more. But hey, I'm testing this out so you don't have to. So I got the L'Oreal True Match, and then I've been on such a big nostalgia kick, and I've been thinking so much about an old Holy Grail foundation. It really will. I thought about it when I was doing my last tag video. I created a whole new tag. If you missed it, I'll throw that video up in the cards. But in that tag, we talked about our first Holy Grail products, and one of them was the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation, which sadly no longer exists. But I was looking online, I was searching everywhere, and I saw some people on Reddit say that they thought this was a dupe. I've never tried it before, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So this is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. I hate that name. Why Skin Milk? Moving on, like I mentioned before, we've got the Flower Light Illusion Foundation. I believe I tried this out a few years ago. I don't know if it's the exact same foundation, but I remember trying a foundation from Flower Beauty and it not working or sitting well on my skin at all. So I kind of want to go back and retest it. And I got this in the shade Porcelain, right? Right? This is Porcelain? Are you? I have no idea. It's not on here. I'll check the description box. I should listen to my own advice. Next, this is one I have not tried in years, and I really want to try again because I love the matte and poreless so much, but I can never really get the dewy and smooth to work for me. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and... It's not the matte and poreless. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. And it's in shade 105 because that's the shade that works for me in the matte and poreless. Though I will say, does it look slightly different? Let me grab my matte and poreless. It's in here. It looks slightly off. I've got a matte and poreless in like this little pouch. They don't look like the exact same shade, but we'll see. Next, this is a repurchase for me because I absolutely love this for lightening foundations that don't match me. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation. Now, stay with me here. This is their actual Pro Coverage Foundation that comes in white. This, in my opinion, works better than their actual white mixer. I'll throw a picture up right here. They sell a line of like color pigments that you mix in with foundations. I don't think that's the same. It doesn't work the same. I've seen it kind of get weird when I mix it with foundations. This one works amazingly, and it has worked amazingly for years. So if you need something to lighten up your foundation, go for the foundation in white and not their weird pigment mixer thing. It also comes in a glass bottle, and it's more expensive, whereas this one's just plastic. But this works great. I can't count how many of these I've actually like panned and gone through because I use them so often to lighten foundations. Okay, so now this one is a little bit of a boo on me, right? Because I thought I had not tried this before. This is the Essence Keep Me Covered Long-Lasting Foundation. So I picked up two shades, shade 20 and shade 40, because those are the lightest shades on the website. Well, I already had it in shade 10. And the reason I'm not wearing this is because the shade looks god-awful on me. It's like light yellow. It looks like banana pudding. And I don't know why. So I picked up these shades. I hope they match me better, or at least they're a shade where I could mix pigment with it to make it look better, because this one's too light for me to mix. I'd have to find a darker pigment to mix with it, and I don't have a darker pigment to mix in to make this work better for me. So meh. But I'm hoping one of these works better for me. Actually, looking at shade 20, I think shade 20 would work pretty good. Fingers crossed. So last for the foundations, I picked up two shades of the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation. And this was a foundation I remember being everywhere like years ago, like 2016. I think this was like really, really big. And I remember loving their stick foundation, which is now discontinued. I am so upset. That was my favorite stick foundation ever. They discontinued it. But I remember also really liking these. So I picked up shade F.07 and F.1. 0.1 looks darker, so I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I haven't used these in years, so this is more of a repurchase to retry. Next, let's talk concealer. So I picked up a few concealers from the Ulta Beauty House line. Back when I was like 20 shades darker, I used to be like a MAC NC 25, like back at the very beginning of this channel, which was like 7 years ago. Oh my god, was it really 7 years ago? But I used to tan, I used to walk outside a lot, Now I don't, and I've gotten pale and pale and pale. But back then I used to love the Ulta concealer in the shade Light Warm. But I used that a little while ago and it was way too dark for me. But I remember really liking the formula. So I picked up 2 shades and it looks dark. I'm like so shocked at how dark it is. But this is the shade Fair Neutral, which might work. Like this looks like it could actually work. But this is shade Light Cool. And that is so dark. I don't think I could use this at all. But I'll give it a good honest try. You know, I'm also going to mix in color correctors here because close enough. I picked up 2 color correctors also from the Ulta House line. I got yellow and I got pink. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this concealer from just about every beauty person that I follow on YouTube. This is from Flower Beauty and this is the Get Real Serum Concealer. And I really hope this shade works for me. It looks a little dark. You know, I kind of want to open it. Oh, I think that could work. It's definitely like a cool pinky kind of undertone, but I feel like that could actually work for me. Oh, that's exciting because I've heard so many good things about this. I really want to try this out. So this is going to go straight into my everyday makeup basket. Last but not least, for concealers, I picked up the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C07. And I can't remember the last time I used their concealer, so I have no idea if this is going to match me. Last, for the color correctors from e.l.f., I picked up the Camo color correctors, also in yellow and pink? Peach. Yellow and peach. Next, we have some face powders, and all of these are a repurchase, I believe, except for this one from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow Pressed Powder. And it's, I believe, a newer product, and I've never tried any, like, actual face powders from Physicians Formula. Like, actual, like, what? Like, foundation face powders? I've tried their blushes and their bronzers, of course, but this one looks like a very interesting shade. Ooh, it could probably work for me. I love the packaging. I love it, and, oh, it's got the same scent as the butter bronzer. That is delightful. I could be here all day, but I'm excited to try that out. So for the repurchases, I have from J.Cat Beauty, this is the Aquasurance Compact Powder Foundation, and this is a powder foundation. It has a ton of coverage, which I love, but if you're looking for a translucent powder, this is not for you. Next, we have the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation as well. I use all of these. I don't actually use powder foundation as powder foundation. I use it to set foundation, and I just like it because it gives me a little bit extra coverage. And last but not least, we have from Essence the 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. Does anyone else open up their powder foundations and immediately just throw this out? Also, did you guys notice I have the lights back behind me? I made them white and orange, like the Ulta colors. I think I'm cute. Ooh, this one's soft. So the sponges and all the powders feel like trash, except for the one in the J.Cat one. This actually feels nice and soft. I want to keep it. I'm going to keep that one. Alright, next we'll talk about contour and bronzers. But before we jump in, I kind of want to just talk about the one eyeshadow palette I picked up, because I only got one, surprisingly. But e.l.f. has been repackaging their 10-pan eyeshadow palettes into this new packaging. They tend to do that every few years or so. I liked their old packaging, like the old black, like, plastic packaging. It was very classy, very timeless. I loved it. I have a few palettes still. But this one, I have not seen like a nice pastel palette from the drugstore in a while. And I saw these shades, I saw those colors, and I was like, oh, I need to get it. So I got this one. Okay, so I have been in love with the NYX double-sided highlighting contour stick. So I thought, you know, why not try it from a couple of other brands? Like Makeup Revolution has a fast-based contour stick. Now, these shades looked very wonky online. Like, I think one of them looked straight up orange. So I hope these shades work for me. And I believe in both of these, I got the lightest shade. So for the makeup, ooh, this does remind me of the foundation. So I wonder if they discontinued the foundation to do this instead. Looking a little orangey. I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if I mix them together. How does that look? Looks orangey. Okay. So maybe the highlight side I could use as like a dupe for the, or a replacement for the stick foundation that they discontinued. But I don't know how great that contour is gonna look, but I'll give it a shot. Next, I got basically the same product from Wet n Wild. And I know these have been out for like forever, but I'm a bit behind on the ball, and I only really got into like cream highlight, cream contour, cream blush like in the last 6 months. So I am very late, but ooh, look how bright that shade is. That might actually be almost too light for me. Okay. Okay. I like the undertone. I feel like it might be a little too dark, but if this blends out nicely, I feel like that could work really nice. Huh. Okay. Impressed. And the last contour product that I picked up is from Flower Beauty, and this is the Lowlight Liquid Contour. Again, I've heard really good things about the wands from Flower Beauty, so I picked up the lightest shade of the contour. Okay, at least the spongy part doesn't feel that bad, so hopefully it applies product pretty okay. I'm so worried about if this is gonna just like squirt out at me. How do I get product out? Oh, there's a button that says on and off. Okay, I like that. I do like that a lot. So that extra isn't oozing out of the tube as you're, ooh, that came out fast, as you're using it. Okay, ooh, I like that tone. That is a nice tone. And okay, I'm not hating the sponge, and I do like the fact that there's an on and off switch there, so okay. All right, and I desperately need another Diet Coke and a break, so I'm gonna hop off for a second and be right back. I have another Diet Coke. I took my little break. I unfortunately got some very annoying news, but we're gonna push through it and finish this haul. So next I picked up 3 highlighters. I've only also recently just gotten into liquid or cream highlighters, and I've heard amazing things about the Flower Beauty highlighter, so let me give this a little swatch. Let's see. Ooh, that's a really pretty champagne-y color. Hope it's not too dark on my actual face. Next, I have this jumbo highlighting stick from NYX, and to be honest, I don't know. Ooh, I was gonna say, I don't know how that would apply on the face because I've pictured this as the eye pencils, but it's a lot creamier and softer than the eye pencils, and it looks pretty, so maybe that could work. Okay. And then I have from Makeup Revolution this Bright Light highlighter. And this one is interesting because it's a spongy, but it's like a twisty. Is it not a twisty? Okay, I finally figured it out. I think it's like a push and a twist. You don't just twist it. That is weird, but okay. And we have highlighter. I actually like the shade. I don't know about the sponge tip applicator because it's like a denser sponge than the rest of them. So honestly, this is one where I could see myself trying to cut that sponge tip off. Next, we have some blushes. So from CoverGirl, I saw this palette and I was just intrigued as someone who loves a good peach blush. These look really, really pretty. So this is the CoverGirl Clean Girl Blush Palette in the shade Peachy Doll. How cute is that? So these are the shades. This one, I think it's supposed to be a highlighter, but I think it's too dark to be a highlighter on me, so hopefully it's like a nice yellowy kind of blush. But these 2 shades in particular are what I was looking for, so I can't wait to try those. And of course, I have been loving these Halo Beauty Glow Wands, and I picked up the other 2 shades of the blush that I didn't already have, either through PR or purchasing myself. So I got the shades Berry Radiant and Rosé You Slay. Next, also from Physicians Formula, I picked up the Matte Monoi Butter Blush. Now I have the butter box that has a bunch of butter blushes in there, but I think this was like a separate unique shade. And I really wanted to try it out. And I gotta say, I love the packaging. It's a bit bulky at times, but it's adorable. And oh my god, this is such a pretty blush. Let me zoom you in. Look how pretty that is. That's probably one of the prettiest blushes I've ever seen. So all those shades mixed together gives you like a pinky berry toned kind of blush. That looks really, really pretty. And last but not least for the blushes, I picked up one of the Milani Cheek Kish liquid blushes. This is in the shade 130 Cheeky Coral. And again, I've heard nothing but good things about this from like a bunch of different influencers. And while I was looking at the shades, this coral, this is like literally exactly what I've been looking for out of a cream or liquid blush. I love this. Look how, that's literally exactly what I've been looking for. This is going right into my everyday makeup drawer, and I'm going to try this out immediately. I can't wait. All right, so our last section is going to be like mascaras, brow products, and eyeliners. I picked up 3 new eyeliners. This liquid liner from Undone Beauty I picked up because, ooh, that is so fine. Taylor Wynn mentioned this and said it was like the thinnest, finest, beautiful liner, and I cannot wait to try this out. And then this is technically a repurchase. I've bought many liners from the NYX Epic Ink or Epic Wear line. and they're beautiful. I love wearing them in the waterline. They stay all day. They're vibrant. They're very, very pretty. And I did not have like a red or an orange in that shade. So I got this kind of like pinky red shade, and then I got like a true red liner shade. Next, I just picked up 2 refills of like one of my favorite mascaras of all time, the Essence Lash Princess. This I don't think I've tried before, but I was on the hunt for like some good affordable brow, like tinted brow gels. This is from Essence. This is the Thick and Wow Fixing Brow Mascara with volumizing fibers. Now, I don't know if the shade is gonna work because it looks very like brown, like warm light brown, but I'll give it a shot. I've been on like a clear brow gel, clear mascara kind of kick, so I picked up these 2. This one is from CoverGirl, and this is from Wet n Wild. And last but not least, we're finally at the end of the haul. I picked up the NYX Zero to Brow. So this is their new brow product that is supposed to like magically make brows appear according to their marketing. I picked this up in their darkest shade, and it's like a really, really dark brown, so I hope I can make this work for me. Oh, if it wants to open. Oh, it's a twist. Haha. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So I can't wait to give that a shot as well. And there we have it. That is the biggest haul I have ever done in my entire life. At some point in the next few months, I'm thinking maybe right after the holidays, I will do a haul follow-up where I will go through, and after testing out all the products, I'll let you know what I thought about them. But until then, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon so you're notified whenever new videos come out every week, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.